when you touch the forehead, but don't touch too much time. Emoji. Yeah.
Oh, see?
It's going. Yeah, it's going down here.
Let's be honest with ourselves, shall we? Robots are the future. They just are. They're going to come into our lives whether we like it or not, and when that happens, we need to be ready. But how can we be ready? Well, the answer to that is by making sure that we have robotic gadgets that welcome in our new robot overlords. And believe it or not, there are plenty of them that are out there right now that you can get and enjoy. So allow us to show you the modern robotic gadgets that you will want to buy. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 10. BellaBot. Here is a robotic gadget that honestly would be a big help in our world right now. The BellaBot was made by a robotics company in China with a very simple goal: to be a robotic waiter. The BellaBot is constructed to hold all sorts of trays and food, and then can be programmed to go and take things to the proper table and customers. The robot comes with a wide view angling lens that will help ensure that the robot can avoid obstacles like chairs, tables, and then of course, people.
Someone suddenly drops some stuff. Yeah, it's gonna stop.
The reason we noted that this would be a perfect gadget for today's world is because the global pandemic is very much on everyone's minds. This robotic waiter would be perfect for restaurants who don't want to risk exposure to their staff and thus can program the robot to do their delivering with minimal contact with the customers. Plus, if that's not enough for you, the robot is constructed to have a cat face and interact with customers when petted.
It's not like replace a human being.
Okay.
But it's really helpful to people, release the people from the repetitive work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the tough job.
Number 9. Gomer. One of the potential appeal of robots as a whole is that they can be companions to those who own them or even need them. Gomer is a robot that is literally built to be a companion robot for people. But what exactly does that mean and entail? Well, simply put, it's a robot that can recognize the people in the house and even talk with them at times.
Hey guys, today we'll be reviewing Gomer! Woohoo!
Because of its programming, it doesn't have to be controlled all the time. Rather, it'll go about its merry way, not unlike a pet. But when people are around, it'll interact with them.
Introduce him to your friends. He can shake hands.
Gomer can be used to grab things and even play games. And not to mention, it can be used as a security device of sorts, as your phone will be able to access its visual and audio sensors and thus see and hear when Gomer is viewing and listening to. It is a bit expensive at $400, but it'll be a robot companion you're not likely to forget. Number 8. Lovat. If the Gomer robot doesn't feel like a true companion to you, then the Lovat absolutely will, because this is a robot that was also designed to be a companion robot.
It follows you around and makes little cooing sounds, and when you're not paying attention to it, it'll come up to you and beg you to hug it.
But with one heck of a twist. Mainly in that it looks very much different than any robot you've ever seen. Rather, it looks like a cute creature that just happens to be in robotic form.
A robot that gives lots of love to you. So if you're allergic to cats and dogs like me, I think this is actually the perfect thing to have.
Now you might believe that this robot would be created for kids to play with, but in fact it was designed to help people of all ages. The Japanese creator of the Lovat realized that while robots are incredibly diverse and powerful in their own rights, they don't always have a pleasing form, if you will. So the Lovat is made to be a companion that you look at and feel happy about seeing.
It even coos and it has eyes, facial expressions, and it's actually warm.
It'll react to your voice, it'll reach out its arms and be hugged, and it reacts when you interact with it. This device can be kind of an emotional support robot, if you will, and its name is the fusion of love and robot, which is perfect for someone who is alone, depressed, or doesn't have too many people to interact with on an emotional level. Number 7. Meeposaur. Who doesn't want to own their own dinosaur? It's a lifelong dream for many, but because dinosaurs are now extinct, it can be a bit troublesome to get it to happen. Unless you're fine with having a robotic dinosaur, and let's be honest, who wouldn't want that? Enter the Meeposaur, a robotic dinosaur that is meant to be interacted with in a variety of ways, and it can even be taught various tricks. While the look of this robot is worth the price of admission, the fun part about the Meeposaur is that it honestly has a personality, one that you can witness in various ways. If you look on its back, it has a glowing light that'll change colors depending on its mood. What's more, this is a creature that aims to be respected, not unlike a real dinosaur, and thus if you do things like pull its tail or try to push it along, it'll rear around and start chasing you because it doesn't like that. So, be nice to your robot dinosaur, or else. Number 6, Mars Cat. Imagine this, you or your child want a cat, but there's a big problem. One of you is seriously allergic to cats, and thus you can't get one. So, what do? The answer is Mars Cat, a completely robotic cat that will be able to act like the cat you're not able to have. Now, it'll be easy to say that it looks just like a cat but without the downside, but it's much more than that. This is a robot that is well and truly designed to be a cat in everything but furry form. For example, its programming allows it to mimic cat-like behavior, from licking its paws to going and testing out a surface it wants to rest on, and so on. Plus, it can actually develop its own personality based on how you and your family treat the said cat. It comes in various colors, and should something go wrong, it's open source in terms of programming and thus can be altered to better suit you and your family's needs. So don't miss out on having a cat just because you're allergic. Get Mars Cat. It's the cat's meow.
It's like any other cat, it doesn't have to listen to you. So if it doesn't listen to you, well, that's just part of the programming now, isn't it?
Number 5, Moxie. The idea of robots helping people, it's not new, but when it comes to Moxie, this robot is built to help children learn and grow in ways that all parents can appreciate. Mainly in that the robot is meant to be an educational and social robot that'll help the child learn various things through certain missions that it has. For example, it can help a child read a book, understand something they don't know, help them make friends by giving them advice on what to say, how to say it, what topics to discuss, and so on.
Riley, we have a new mission. Would you make a drawing for me?
The missions can be done by the child, or it can be selected by the parents, should they feel the need to, nudge their child along. The robot even has a cartoon-like viewing face to help the child connect with the robot. Moxie will be coming out soon, should you be interested. Number 4, Lumo. Here's a rather unique robot for you. Lumo is a companion robot, but it's also one that functions as a fast-moving moped, if you will. Now, the Lumo has an auto-follow function that'll allow you to go and walk around the home or city, and it'll follow you and avoid obstacles, so it can keep up with you. Plus, with refined video and audio software, you can use the Lumo to go and record videos while you're doing something else, or contact someone by having it go to another room in your stead.
Hi there, my name is Lumo, and I have been waiting a long time to meet you.
Number 3, Evo. Now, you might not think this tiny little robot can do much, but you would be very wrong. Evo is a little robot that is meant to be an educational tool for any who use it, mainly through teaching people loosely about programming. The robot will follow commands based on the colors it sees, and it will change things based on what it goes over. The device is advised for schools as well as the robot engaging children in a way that regular learning doesn't. Number 2, MojoBot. The MojoBot, as it is called, is honestly very similar to the last robot, but with one big twist. In this case, the robot teaches coding, math, and more via the use of a board game that comes with it. Children will put the chips on the board and help the robot complete certain things, and thus learn how to make it fully function by doing certain tasks. It's fun, it's innovative, and it's sure to make your kids play with MojoBot for hours on end. Plus, it's only $130, so it won't break the bank to get it.
I'm MojoBot. Bye-bye.
Number 1, Alfred. Not unlike a certain dark night, this robot is basically going to be your butler. Alfred is a personal assistant robot, one that has a whole lobby of functions from the basic to the detailed. For example, this robot can be your alarm clock. It can follow you around, it can give you important information such as the weather, it can act as a projector and show you your emails or play movies, it can record things for you to watch, give detailed information, and so on and so forth. So if you need that extra hand, get Alfred. What do you think? What do you think of this look at robotic gadgets that you can get right now and enjoy? Did any of them particularly interest you? If so, which ones? Do you think that some of these are a bit too out there for our current world? What do you think the next innovations in these kinds of inventions will be? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.